What's going on, guys? This is Jason of Auglitical. I sue through the politics and relationships so you don't drown too. I am just a man trying to bring common sense in a world where common sense isn't so common. Let's get it. So apparently, there's this woman named Paulina or some shit. Jordan Pauline apologizes to Tylil James and black men after mistakenly accusing him of sexual assault. We all say things that we don't mean when we are hurt. What? What? Okay. No, you don't accuse a man of rape or sexual assault because you just want what? Okay, sure.
I ain't vibe with y'all, but y'all so mean. Can y'all not be mean to me? Like, what are we being mean to me for? Why? I couldn't even keep my comments on for 2 minutes. So if you have some type of raging vendetta against me for me saying things out of emotions, we all say things we don't mean when we're hurt.
Like sexual assault? Are you kidding me? You're upset because people are being mean to you after you accuse the man of sexual assault. Now, again, I tried to track down when she initially said this. I don't know if this was a post or if this was a video. I could not find it. But as things stand right now, she lied. And she probably got caught lying or some bullshit. She's admitting that she was completely wrong. Of course people are going to be mad at you. Of course the mob is going to come for that ass. Because the way that it's going, the Me Too era is over, shorty. And you damaging somebody's reputation like that, that shit is always going to... Do you not know? Of course she doesn't care. But do you know how many stories of men who have cleared their name from false accusations of sexual assault or rape, and it still follows them wherever they go? Or you'll still have these low quality women that will throw that in this guy's face that this person is a rapist or some shit, even when it was cleared. For example, just in case you think that I'm talking bullshit, in New York City, there was a girl named the Mattress actress, and it was a girl who was in the NYC college or whatever like this, and she liked this guy, this guy who he wasn't native to the United States. I guess he was in New York in college, but he went back home for the holiday. But he was with this girl in college, and she was the girl he was fucking with, right? But just so happens, she was fucking all of his friends. She actually apparently got an STD. Or STI, because you can't say STD anymore from these bleeding heart lefties, because STD is too mean to say in this day and age. So she ended up getting a STI from one of his friends. So yes, homegirl was easy. White girl, by the way. Anyway, so he goes back to his hometown or whatever like that for the holiday, and he finds this girl, and he really likes this girl. And homegirl, the easy girl, the Matrix actress, sits there and says to him, because she's been trying to talk to this dude, oh well, is it like serious? And he says he wants to make it serious when he goes back home or whatever like that. She says, oh well, you know, those things don't really last. So she doesn't give a shit about anything like that because she likes him, or maybe she just wants to keep the dick for herself. Anyway, he comes back to New York City and NYU, and he's now slowly, partially kind of distancing himself from her. Even though he was already doing that, he started to do it more because, you know, he didn't want to fuck up his chances with the girl in his home country, probably Germany or some shit. And good on him, right? Nothing wrong with that. So what ends up happening is Shorty, the Matrix actress, after, because apparently I think they smacked, he fucked her probably one more time or something like this. 3 months later, she sat there and said that he raped her, and he actually had all of the receipts to show that she was still trying to talk to him after 3 months. He probably, I don't even know if he had sex with her again, but she tried to say that he raped her, sexually assaulted her on the mattress or whatever like that. The reason why her name was Mattress Actress was because she was going around the college broadcasting that she was raped on that mattress. And homeboy had all of the receipts, but none of it mattered because the way that the college decided to handle it internally, and they removed him. They just said, fuck you. It didn't matter about his evidence. It didn't matter about anything. And when he did redeem his name, when he did clear his name and all of that, all of the damage was done. And you know the funny thing is, for the following years, and from time to time, she pops up and retells her fucking story. She even did a porno. She even did a porno reenacting the supposed rape. So yes, we don't live in that bullshit era anymore, and more people should stand out against that. In fact, I feel like as though I'm all for and I stand with any woman who has been sexually assaulted. I'm a fierce defender of that type of shit. I don't want that shit to happen to no one. No woman, no man. However, a lot of these girls also need to stop doing this shit where they decide that they want to rescind their consent after doing some bullshit. Just like the mattress actress wanted to rescind her consent after she allowed all of his friends and him to smash. And all of a sudden now she was upset because she wasn't getting the attention she wanted from him anymore and decided to ruin his life. We all say things when we're hurt. Yo, that's crazy.
I don't want anybody to ever think that that's something I meant. That's something I live by. That's how I feel. Like, no. I was traumatized and I was hurt. And I said some things I did not mean I shouldn't have said. And I genuinely apologize from the bottom of my heart for those remarks. And yes, I'm gonna leave it at that. But Black people are phenomenal. It's Black History Month. We're gonna continue to break down.
What the fuck? What? What does this got to do with Black people? What? Oh my God. Okay.
These walls, get over these mountains, and do great things in this world. And, you know, we're God ordained, we're God's people. And yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that, okay? My kids are gonna be Black. My dog is Black. I'm Black. My mama's Black. My friends are Black.
You know what's funny? When she just said her mama's Black, it slipped out. And you'll know what, listen, you can spot certain things, but let's continue. If you can't spot them as a Black man, I spotted it immediately, but I also already know. But okay, sure, let's keep going.
I love Black people, and I love Black men.
Fuck is that? Is that a Wakanda pose?
I like white niggas. Yeah, if I did talk to a man, I like white boys. Yeah, I don't like Black boys. Yeah, I'm saying it. I don't give a fuck. I don't like you Black niggas. I really don't. And this is a prime example. What the fuck are we talking about? I don't like Ty Lil. Never.
You know, you don't have to know, but you know, this is what but it gets worse. It gets worse. The Guyanese pop princess sitting here talking about she Black. Now, for those of you that are uninitiated, or those of you people who are white who don't understand, there's amazing things happening online right now, and it hasn't spilled out into the real world completely as of yet, but it will. Where now you have people, descendants of slaves, who have DNA blood on this soil for multiple generations, now trying to separate themselves from Africans and Caribbeans, as this Jordan Pauline girl, who's Guyanese, who would be classified as fucking, I'm guessing, Caribbean, right? Not Black, Caribbean. And the funny thing is, every single group is able to separate, close ranks, but Black people, for some reason, Africans and Caribbeans, not all of them, right? The positive ones who probably like the Black culture, but they don't disrespect Blacks. They're cool. But you got these things that we call tethers, these adjutants, who sits there, and what they'll do is they'll come to the United States, make their money, and I'm gonna make a perfect example out of this person right here to explain to you guys clearly. Make their money because they can't make their money in their country, and then sit there after digging into the Black subculture, will sit there and then run back off to their country or put their flag in their bio. Me no Black. I'm not Black. I'm Nigerian. I'm not Black. I'm Dominican. And that's fine because it's true. They're not Black, but they only make it through the Black subculture. But it's always the negative subculture. What does Black people do now? I'm sorry, this person is an actual piece of work. Actual piece of work. The Guyanese pop princess. She ain't Black because Black is only found in the United States. I know there's other groups that think that they're Black. The funniest thing is I had a African Brazilian sit there and say, you black people think that black people only exist in the United States. Yes. If you were a slave and you ended up in Brazil, you're an African Brazilian. You can't sit there and you can't sit there and emulate black Americans in America and then call yourself black. You cannot immigrate into black culture. This woman, who's the Guyanese princess, who's just sat there and said, we're going to overcome and I'm going to have a black baby and I got a black dog and I love black men, and then in the same breath said that she hates black men.
I like white niggas. Yeah. If I did talk to a man, I like white boys. Yeah. I don't like black boys.
You can't make this shit up. But let's listen to her music, because if she's the Guyanese princess, I want to hear her music. So let's listen to her music. Skip. All right, let's listen. All right, so what is this? Ice Spice, Cardi B, a little bit of Nicki Minaj. All of this shit right here is an amalgamation of the subculture black hood rap bullshit. That's all it is. No Guyanese people, bro, look at how they dressed. This shit has nothing to do with Guyanese type. You the Guyanese pop princess. All they do is make a mockery of the caricatures of the negative stereotypes of blacks. And then they'll turn around and say, if
I did talk to a man, I like white boys. Yeah, I don't like black boys.
They'll sit there and shit on black people. They do this shit consistently. And again, like I said, amazing things are happening right now. And I hope that movement to de-alienate they don't stumble on their fucking toes, because it's about time that black people, black Americans, got proper credit, and not the fucking thugs, not the subculture. We're talking about the best of the brightest. We're talking about the engineers. We're talking about the artists. We're talking about the scientists. We're talking about the inventors, right? I really do hope for the black race we can get that. And we stop allowing these fucking type of people, right? We stop allowing these type of people over here to throw us in the fucking mud and then run to their fucking their selective group for protection at the end, because they believe that we are free game, while they can just sit there and be like, me no black.
A little Jordan situation, because something similar happened to me.
What the fuck is this? Why I understand the Jordan Pauline and Tyel situation. Okay, hold on.
I understand the Tyler and Jordan situation because something similar happened to me back in 2022. I was talking to this African and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna be in your city January 31st. Let's kick it. I was like, okay, cool. I gave him my number and he was like, yeah, I just want to hang out with you for like an hour and we do a little Snow White. How much is that? I was like, oh, I'll let it go for about $400. He was like, oh, okay, cool.
What the fuck is Snow? What the fuck? Well, hold on. You're meeting a guy for some Snow White. That sounds like drugs, first and foremost. You said, yo, let it go for... Is this a prostitute story? What the... Okay.
So I come through there, we start skating, and before I know it, I'm really feeling real euphoric. Like, I don't know what he mixed it with, but I was feeling super...
It's drugs. It's fun. Okay. See, you don't need to do it if you could just... Okay, sure, whatever. So am I right? This is 1 for 2. She's a hoe, though, right? She's a prostitute. She let it go for 400. Okay.
Myself, I was feeling myself, like just really feeling myself. I don't know what happened, but all I know is I did not leave there in an hour. I left there the next day. Why is it February 1st? So I was like, oh, you played with me. You really didn't have to do all that. And I started feeling weird about the whole situation. I started regretting the whole situation. I was like, you know what? You're gonna have to come up off of more than $400. Hold
on. You got drugs and you got money, and he got to give you more because you want to throw away your... Yo, what is this stuff? Okay, first we was talking about the guy, he's prop princess rat. What is this, though? Is this the hive? Why I understand the story, and the story is batshit crazy. What is this?
And he was just like, nah, here's your money, and yeah, you got a dip. And I was just like, oh, you don't want to pay me more? And he was like, no. I was like, you know what? You ain't got to fight me. You're going to have to fight these allegations. So what I...
What the fuck? Hold on. You met a random dude. You knew drugs was on the table. You got your drugs, you got your money, and you mad? How you fucking up the game like this? What you gonna say? He drugged you when you already was gonna, what was the shit that they said? Do white skating ice? What the, am I living in an upside down world? This is a 2-for-1. This is a fucking 2-for-1 if I've ever, this is a 2-for-1.
Allegedly did is I went to the hospital, got a drug test, got an R kit, and I texted him and I was just like, hey, I felt really weird about that whole situation. I didn't appreciate it. And you know what? Since you didn't want to come off of what you agreed on.
So did he give you the money or not? Because you just said he gave you the money. Now you're saying that, first, did you just hear how she just switched it up? She said he needed to give her more. He gave her money. They agreed on a certain amount of money. And now she said, okay, hold on. Let's look at these fucking comments. Yo, this Jordan situation summoning all the demons I see. Stay safe out here, my brothers. So basically, you blackmailed the motherfucker for money. You agreed to do drugs with him, and then realized you regret what you did, and somehow now it's all his fault. He didn't lace you. That's just the effects of good cocaine. Yeah, it's cocaine. Are you okay? Mentally, like, seriously, no joke. Keep God first is crazy coming from a demon. Yo, did she say that? Of course she did. Skinwalker frequency. See the crazy in her eyes. You're extremely low frequency, and I think you need to reevaluate your morals. Have a good day. Oh, she responded. LOL, ask Kisa, I think you hit a nerve. Congratulations, a hit comment. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Everyone, please ignore her. This clout chasing at its best. Having regrets is not sexual assault, period. The government gotta start punishing sexual assault as fraud. No cap, this is actually sad. This is really low vibrational shit. Yo, what is that new lingo? Low vibrations? What the fuck does that mean? What is low private? I'm afraid. Yo, what is low vibrations mean? Hold on, let's see if we can learn a word before we leave today, kids and gals, ladies and gents.
Dandy, just know that there are going to be repercussions of what you did. And that man said,
that's crazy. Hold on. What is low vibrations? Was it low frequencies or low vibrations? Low vibrations, low vibrational energy. Low vibrational energy represents a state of being characterized by dense, heavy, and slow moving energy. Man, get the fuck out of here, AI. You are the worst. All right, what we got? What does it mean? Okay, the phrase seems to alternatively mean unwholesome, self-serving, negative, drama-seeking, materialistic, and exhausting. A non-specific spiritual element is often associated with the term. Okay, well, we just learned the word today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Now get the hell out of here. I'll catch you guys next time. Yo, this women are crazy, dog.